There's Miss Shiner right
Here
there.
I am. Hello,
Perfect
thank
timing.
you all for joining us. I so appreciate it. We are not going to hold you up. 2020 has been interesting to say the least. And so we're going to go ahead and close out this year and start fresh for 2021. But I definitely do appreciate all of you all for being on. So some of you have received documents attached to your emails. Some of you have not, because on trend with 2020, attachments were acting crazy this morning, but that's okay. We're going to take care of that. And what I'm referencing for that, we just asked our advisory board members to complete. You will get a copy of that. So it will be sent today. It's something simple. It's the sheet is an employee annual review of our program. And yes, look at Miss Marsha. She has it. Very simple, very straightforward. Just a couple of questions asking, did we review what we're about to review, that you saw what we saw? And if you have any suggestions for us. And the reason why we asked for that is because that's the information that we use to provide to our corporate office and to our accrediting body, the Council on Occupational Education, that allows us to make changes to our program. So you're telling us you're working in these fields, and you're telling us, you know what? We kind of don't use that. We don't do that. We don't do that. We do this. Or we don't use that. We use this. We don't do this technique. That's kind of old and outdated. We do this. That helps us, and that allows us, because we have credible professionals in the field that can tell us, okay, look, you need to make this change, you need to make this shift. So that's the long and short of why we ask for that information. It just allows us to stay kind of on target and preparing our students for in the best position that they possibly be, trained for once they graduate these programs and go to find work, because that is our sole purpose, our sole mission, is that our graduates get the training that they need to go to work. So appreciate that. Our agenda, we have the agenda. We're going to any old business Ms. Marsha is going to cover. We're going to talk about our placement data that I am going to do. I'm going to talk about that because I did not introduce myself, because I just jumped on in here. I am Ms. Shana Joseph, the Career Services Coordinator here at Unitech, and I help our graduates with employment once they finish their program. So really being a liaison between employers in the community and our grad pool that we have, kind of merging those together. So always reaching out to employers, talking to them, finding out what they want in candidates, and making sure that our graduates meet that need. So I will talk about placement, and then we'll review the curriculum, the textbooks. Ms. Marsha will handle that, show us her wonderful, beautiful lab that you see behind us. Any new business, and then just a reminder that when I do send this afternoon, if sometime this week you can complete the annual program review. It's just 2 short pages. It's just 12 questions. They're mainly yes or no questions. And if you have any feedback, like I said, from that you see in the field that maybe needs to be addressed that we're not doing, then you can just put that in those spots. And if you don't, you can just check yes, yes, or no, no, and send it back to us real quick and easy. We're trying to make it as quick and easy because we know that everybody's 2020 has been something serious. And so we need to finish out this year as fast as possible. And that's what we're trying to do. All right, so I'm going to start real quick and give you the information on placement for NBC. I will say, and first of all, let me make sure I call it the right program name. It is Medical Billing and Coding. I hate using the abbreviations that we use here because a lot of times people don't know what that means, but it is Medical Billing and Coding. And I'm pulling up, hold on just a moment. There it is. Okay, so our accrediting body, of course, is Council on Occupational Education, COE, and the metric that we are to at least place All of our students in each program that we offer is at a 70% placement rate. And that's across the board for all of our programs. And there it is for medical billing and coding. We are at, for 1920 graduating class, we were at 83.33% placement rate, which means that we were above the minimum requirement by the agency that accreditates us by 13%. So we know that there is a need for this field out in the community, in the healthcare community, and our grads have been getting hired. So that's a great thing. We beat the minimum required of 17% by 13%. So we had an 83.33% placement rate, which is great. But I want to get it higher than that, and we're working on that. So that's why we really appreciate you all being a part of the advisory board, because you can give us sometimes a lot of that information that maybe some of those techniques or things that are needed that we're not necessarily hitting on, that can really be that one little thing that can put them over the top whenever we're trying to get them into a position. Maybe there's one little skill that we're not covering, or something that they could have on their resume that they know how to do that will kind of boost them up to get those positions. So we definitely value your expertise. So I'm going to turn it over to wonderful medical billing and coding instructor, Ms. Marsha, and she's going to go ahead and talk about the curriculums and finish us on out and let you all get on with your day. Thank you so much for participating. Ms. Marsha?
Thank you, Ms. Shana. Well, welcome to MBC. I want to tell you a little bit about our timeline for our classes. We have a day class, which is 8.5 months, and our evening class is a year before they actually finish the program. This is my lab. We have computers and we have a printer. I have a big smart TV. We have Wi-Fi. So they're able to get on and do skills testing, typing tests, things like that when they're in class. We know that they're not here right now, so it's not being used right now, but we do have that. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I have a little, y'all, this is really funny. I'm not really, Brandy, the one in the middle, wave Brandy.
Hi.
She taught me how to do PowerPoints many years ago. So I'm going to share my screen. So, because I have a little PowerPoint. It's not going to be long, I promise.
Brandy, you are the one that we have to blame for this. I just need to know. Thank you.
Yes.
Now we know.
Yes. It's all my fault.
It's all your fault. You've created a
I
monster.
will take the blame.
You have created a monster.
I know it.
Okay, so my program is broken down into modules, module 151 through 158. In module 151, we use the Administrative Medical Assistant textbook, and that is accompanied with our workbook. And what I teach in this particular module is roles and duties along with medical terminology. We talk greatly about skills in communication and telephone etiquette. We go through appointment scheduling, computers in the medical office, managing medical records, electronic medical records, financial and medical office management, along with hands-on training in many of the areas that we already mentioned. Module 152 through 155 is actually our coding modules. Now, with each one of these modules, I teach the theory and the hands-on, the practical application of. In module 152, we talk a lot about medical insurance and how that goes along with the coding and how to file claims. And we talk about how the medical coding, the billing, and everything actually works together as a unit. We also do ICD-10 coding in this module. In module 153, this is where we actually start our CPT coding. We go through the guidelines as well as the practical use. We cover HCPCS. We cover evaluation and management. I spend a lot of time in evaluation and management. In module 154, this is our surgery section. We start with anesthesia. We go through the surgery guidelines in all the body systems. Along with this coding, I also teach a basic human anatomy course, and that is not something that is actually part of our curriculum, but that's just an extra resource that I pull in at that time. In Module 155, we do radiology, pathology, the medicine section, and inpatient versus outpatient coding. We spend a lot of time not only doing a CPT coding in this module, we also pull in a lot of ICD-10 coding here too. And I teach a basic medical terminology course as an extra, as an added little something to go along with it, because medical terminology is so important when they're reading these medical records.
Yeah, definitely.
Then I move into Module 156. This is our electronic health record module. The students become educated in all aspects of the electronic health record. The student will begin with what's known as an introduction to EHRs, how to install and use EHR software, transitioning from paper charts to electronic. I think most of us are already there or a hybrid of right now, but we still go through it. And administrative use along with reimbursements. This next module that I teach is Module 157. This is called SIMS charting, and my students absolutely love this this module. Students get software application, and what that does is that gives them a real front office simulation. The students will be provided with a practice kit, which simulates a 10-day intern or externship in the medical front office. The students will use a simulation playground to navigate these skills. In this module, we go through everything from them calling and making appointments, all the way to looking at the EOBs and applying payments there from the third-party payers. And then we end with Module 158. And this is again in the medical administrative medical assistant book, but we only do chapter 23 in this module, and this is our professionalism module. We talk about job searches, we do resumes, we complete job applications, and we do mock interviews. My additional resources, I use YouTube a lot. I use medicalbillingandcoding.org, careercoders.com, Quizlet, Medical Terminology 350. We have a Unitech Training Academy, Body Systems. That's really what I teach our anatomy out of. I use 321 Coded by Cengage and Comprehensive Medical Coding by Pearson. At the end of my program, they take a certification exam. So we do NCCT prep all the way through this program. I hit and review. After every module, I take the practice packet of that part of the NCCT and I give it to them and we go through it. So that is my curriculum.
Awesome.
Are you guys interested? I know we're at 12:19, but do you want to see how the students are doing their online learning?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. Well, I'm going to share again because I made an advisory board Edmodo, just so you could see how we're actually giving instruction to our students. Well, there we go. Okay, so this is our Edmodo. And when the students actually pull up or come into their Edmodo class, this is what they'll come into. It looks like this. It's different pictures for different things. I want to show you that in their they have a folder section. And when they click their folders, like their syllabuses are available here. So they would click into it and they would have whatever syllabus that, oh, I don't know what that is, but they would have whatever syllabus that we were in for whatever module we were doing. I also give my students their PowerPoint slides. I give them a week at a glance. I give them answer keys for when they may want to double check something. Here's a copy of a syllabus. So I give them all of those extra resources, any kind of little tools they can use. Also, every day they come in, or every time they come into Edmodo, they have a pinned post and it can say different things. In this pinned post, it's the book that we're working in, and it's our December calendar of when we're going to be doing Zoom class or anything important. And then they have 3 posts every day. This is a homework post, and they would have to submit it to me, and then I would grade it. And then they have a lab. And here you can see I've listed, you know, what they needed to read, where their exercises are, and what pages their exercises are on, and what they need to submit for grading. And then they have a lesson. So every day, and this is me, and I'm sorry about this picture, but when you do a YouTube video, you do not get to pick what your face looks like on there, I've learned. But I do lecture recordings. So my students get their lecture, and then they begin their exercises. So that is what we're using. That is Edmodo. So do you guys have any questions?
Mm-mm.
No. Looks
All
great.
right. Well, once again, thank you so very much. I appreciate so much you guys being a part of our advisory board. And I
my
hope
boss.
that you guys have a very Merry Christmas. And when you have time, fill out our little sheets. I just keep a copy of just about everything. So they're really easy yes and no questions. If there's anything that you see that I can do better, just please put it on there, or you think that we need to improve on. I'd be more than happy to read that. We would. And somebody wants to pop in and say hi.
Hi, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Kristen McCray. I'm the campus director. I just want to say thank you so much for joining us on our virtual advisory board call. And your information and feedback is so valuable to us. So thank you so much for helping us out with this.
Welcome.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Thank you very much and have a wonderful
problem.
day.
Bye,
Thank
Martha.
y'all. Merry
Have a good one.
Christmas.
All right.
Merry Christmas,
Happy
everybody.
holidays.
Bye-bye.
Bye.